wear safety helmets. In all seriousness, though, folks, the real reason this bridge was in place was due to the increase of freight coming back to East Strasburg for the local businesses around the area. In regards to our freight business, as you may have seen back at our East Strasburg yard, we bring in limited amounts of biodiesel fuel, fertilizers, lumber, organic feeds, and lots of other produce for the local businesses. We are very proud to be a partner of those businesses, and we wish to continue to do so. For the past 4 miles, roughly, we have been traveling through what is commonly known as the Dutch country, the fertile farmland of the Plain people, the Mennonites, the Dunkers, and the Amish. There are more than 70% people. Mississippi. That produce consists of wheat, rye, hay, barley, alfalfa, soybean, corn, and Lancaster County famous broadleaf tobacco. We are very glad to have those as our neighbors, and they provide some of the best sights this time of the year, where you can see everything growing around you. Cleveland Place Junction is next. Junction, where the main line meets the main line Amtrak. We're going to start turning sharply to the left and become along Amtrak's Keystone Corridor. There's a lot of history to be told in this little area. This was the original route of the Philadelphia Columbia River, which became part of the Muddy Pennsylvania River in 1857. Back in the early days of railroading, when horses would pull the trains, this would be a horse changing station. Where the lumber company resides today, used to reside Henry Lean's Hotel. Henry Lean would provide fresh horses for the trains, as well as refreshments for the passengers on those trains. 4 mainline tracks remained until 1961. Amtrak has owned the last 2 remaining lines ever since 1971. One thing I'll point out too, if you look here right inside, you'll see pinnable steam breakdown train. When trains would derail back in the day, this would help the trains get back onto the tracks if they would derail along the main lines. Also, believe it or not folks, on February 22nd, 1861, we had a very special passenger pass through here, Mr. Abraham Lincoln. He would trust a crowd of several thousand people back in the day in this general area, where he would tell them they would all come see the long and short of it. Short of it being his wife. Sadly though, more eventful years passed by, and then another train was passing by here, but in the opposite direction. This one carried the slain Franklin's body back to Illinois after his untimely death at the hands of John Wilkes Booth. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Paradise. Change here for Paoli, Coatesville, Trenton, Newark, New York, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Philadelphia, and all other points east and west. Well, if you can kind of run into the track that is, catch it. Because, well, they won't slow down here no more. More other trains will still pass through here, but they only slow down as they go over 100 miles per hour through this little corridor. Now we're going to come to the complete stop here in just a few moments, folks, as we reach the halfway point of our trip today. Our locomotive number 90 will be passing by on the track here on the right-hand side in just a few moments. So I highly recommend getting your pictures of her, as well as our engineer firemen, as they definitely appreciate it. Well, we don't want them to abandon us out here in paradise then, would we? Number 90 was built in June 1924 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works out in Edison, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Weighing in at 180 tons, she carries 15 tons of coal and 9,000 gallons of water inside that tender. Now folks, if you're in or over there on the side, you may stand up and stretch if you need to do that real quick. And that is also for first class and dining. For our passengers and coaches over here, for your safety, please do not use the car you chose to ride in. The car you chose to ride in is the car you must remain in. You may not stand on any of the ending platforms. Once Charlie does pass by you here, you'll hear some creaking and hissing in a few short moments after she passes by. That's because they're getting ready to do a brake test. The brakeman will pass signals up to the conductor and the train crew on the other end of the train to engage and disengage the brakes. Once those are all functioning properly, we will begin our approach back to East Strasburg Station. So we kindly ask everyone, after you're done stretching, that you please make sure you're back in your seats. And if you are pushing up in air, if you're done flipping your seat over and stretching, that you also are back in your seats. As once the brake test has been completed, we will begin our approach back to East Strasburg Station. This brake test is required by federal law.